Hello everyone, Alan here with last week's trades review. I have it up on the screen here. It's going to be between November 22nd and November 26th. In total, I traded 27 times, 12 wins, 15 losses. That's a 44% win rate. Overall, I ended up being up $2.10. This is my account balance, so um, don't laugh. But uh, my account was down $3.42 just because I think of some small fees associated with NASDAQ trading, and I did trade a significant amount of times. But if I get rid of the fees and all that little stuff, I really was up $2. Again, not a huge deal, up or down a couple bucks. But technically, my first green week since I've been home trading full time. Spent $8 on commission just because I haven't really been trading OTCs, so the commissions have been low. Because obviously you don't pay standard commissions on NASDAQs, only on pink sheets, OTCs. I have my largest win percentage here of 35%. There was almost a $24 gain. That's the one where I made the trade and forgot I was in it, and it uphalted, and I ended up being up a good bit on it. Um, And my highest percent loss was 10.19, ended up being $58. That was the one where I just uploaded a video where I added, and added again, and um, ended up cutting for once it cracked for a major dollar amount loss. If I just stuck to an initial position, you could divide that by three. I still would have had a decent percentage loss, but I would have only lost, maybe $15. So good lessons. You know, I have my notes here. My trading is improving. As you can see here, I'm adding these columns. I'm going to continue to add columns or change this up as I progress and for things that I see fit. But my gains over 2% and my losses over 2%. I've had 12 gains over 2 and 11 losses over 2. But if you look at gains and losses over 5%, I had 10 gains over 5% and only 2 losses over 5%. And this is one of them. So now, if I didn't take this trade and lose $58, I would have been up $60. Um, all ifs and all that, but uh, if you compare that to the previous weeks, I mean, you know, this is technically my second week, but I'm counting November as my first month. You know, one gain over 5%, two gains, one gain, clearly something changed if you go from 1 to 10. And the losses haven't increased too much. So I have to improve what I capitalize on, and I have to improve not over trading. I mean, I say that as I traded 27 times, which potentially could be clearly over trading, but um, this just looks like I'm making progress, and now I just have to continue to fine tune. And I'm still watching trading tickers, so I'm sure that I'll find some. I'm sure there'll be some nuggets of wisdom throughout that. I mean, I believe it's 24, 26 hours or so, and I think I'm about 5 hours in it. This is my second or third time watching. I think second. Um, but this is my week overview. Um, we can go through my trade page here, and let's do 175 here. Whoops, 170. That'd be good enough. Um, as you can see on the right, Monday, 5 trades, 1 win, 4 losses. Tuesday, that was my best day. 12 trades, 8 wins, 4 losses, and a nice dollar gain on that day. Wednesday, 1 win, 5 losses, took $30. And Friday, 2 wins, 2 losses, and down 25. So 44% win percentage. I believe I said that before. I'd like to get that over 50, but in my inexperience, I'm taking a lot of not ideal trades, and hopefully over time, I'll start weaning them out and figuring out just where how do I want to put it? Figure out where I like to sit with entries. Let's see, we can just scroll through and talk about my gains and losses over 5%. I think those are significant. Um, let's see, Monday, we had this one on ISPC. Nothing special about it. I just saw that it was basing around 11. I had a risk of VWAP, and it pushed, and I took my little profit. Ended up being a 5.2% gain. This stock was in play, so I just took that little move there. Good trade in my book. Down 2%, down 0.47%, 2%, 1%. So yeah, down $2 on Monday, which isn't bad considering I only had that one win and four losses, and I only lost $2. So that's really what's possible. You know, if you really nail good trades and you really cut your bad trades and make sure that something that I have to improve on also now that I'm thinking about it. Um, since I switched to using Gratani's risk method um, instead of using a specific percentage to cut, I haven't cared as much about getting in as close to the risk as possible, and I think that's leading me to take trades that are not ideal. So this stuff just all fluctuates. This is all stuff I have to work on, but that's just something I just wanted to make a mental note of, that it just came up in my head. Let's see, moving on, Tuesday, down 2.46%, 1.12, 2.37. This was a decent little gain here on KTTA. Dipped below VWAP. I was using this pre-market resistance level um, as a guide, basically. If it cracked below that, I was just going to take it off. But it looked like it bottomed here, and I sold it when it touched VWAP here. Good little gain. Nothing wrong with that. And I missed that next spike. This is still KTTA. I missed that next spike, which I should have been a little bit more patient. Um, I should stop saying I should have. I really don't know what I should or should not be doing yet. Um, at least I feel like I do, but I definitely shouldn't be saying that. I could have re-entered. See, here I go saying should and could again. Um, I took the meat of this move good enough, and it's interesting to see that it pushed into this high of day resistance area. But anyway, for this trade, it dipped. I was using VWAP as my risk, and it pushed again. I didn't think it had room to. I didn't think it had room to push even higher. It was looking kind of weak, so I sold it here at 787, um, which is pretty close. It's probably right about here. I'm trying to do left to right arrows or sideways arrows so that way I can see the price instead of just straight up and down, because I don't really care about the candle. I just care about my entry and exit. So probably right about here. Decent little gain, 11%. Once these position sizes increase, I mean, these would be nice gains. Um, but you know, it is what it is. Tuesday, we're on Tuesday. This is my best day, like I said, or like you've seen. Again, KTTA. This was my last trade. This little pop, it held VWAP here. What I could have done potentially was buy on this hold of VWAP because that is a higher low. Um, so I could have had a small position in here and then maybe just added on these dips. But again, I'm just hindsight trading. It's easy to do. Um, so I saw here that this was putting in higher lows, but it was keeping the same resistance level. So I just bought in. I bought in here with a risk of VWAP, and I wanted to see it push past the high a day. Sold it a little early just because it didn't have that umph that I wanted to see. So I sold it in, you know, I took maybe half of the half the move here. So nice little gain again. LGVN, this was the low of day, or this is what I was basing my risk off of low of day. Bought in and just sold it for a small little gain. Really, I don't know what I was expecting. I think I said this in the daily recap video. Um, I said something like, I don't know what I was expecting because it's not like it's just going to launch up after this is a downtrending stock. As you can see on this daily, this is a down day. So after a huge run up, so I was looking. This is a bounce play based on the low of day price. So if I just waited and was patient, I would have seen that both of these didn't break low of day, and I could have taken some off in here, or taken some off in here, or even rebought into here or in here. So just good lessons, good things for me to see again. Um, but yeah, decent little gain. And since I was so close to risk, my dollar amount gained was higher because my risk was so close. So yeah, good one. And again, let's see, this is APVO, my eighth trade. Oh wait, am I going over? I'm sorry, I said I was going to go over things over 5%, and I got caught up with just this ticker. So small gain on that, but up 7% or close to 8% on this one. This was the low, down under 9, and I just wasn't confident in this one down here. But once it pushed this previous or this custom level here and pushed VWAP, I decided to get in with low of day as my risk, which is why my position size is so small. So I got in here with low of day as risk, and it ended up popping, 2 minutes later. So took a small gain on that. I don't know. Oh, 3 minutes later. 7.8%, good little gain. Um, just looking at it, I mean, I could be more patient when these things are touching or testing high of day, especially one that comes up without a lot of dipping, because I could have taken a lot more of that move. Good lesson though. We'll move on. All right, this one was after that move. I thought that we might see another bounce and hold off of VWAP. All right, I shouldn't say another, but I thought we might see a bounce and hold off of VWAP. VWAP was my risk, and I just got greedy here, and I didn't take it off when it just was touching VWAP. So didn't stick to my plan here. Um, let's see. Trying to think what I could have done better on this trade other than just sticking to my plan. I could have re-entered here on the reclaim, but then again, I mean, it is a lower. Hmm, not sure. Not sure. Not everything's a trade, and I'm not trying to make everything into a trade, but or I'm trying not to. But if you were to go into it thinking with this as your low and it reclaiming VWAP, maybe you would have had a good chance of capitalizing on this. But yeah, that was a 5.75% loss, 12% gain. This is on APVO. Um, I was using VWAP as risk. It seemed this is high of day at the time, I believe, pushing high of day. So I entered here and sold and took maybe 45% of the move. Nice 12% gain. I believe this halted right after, and the next trade, yeah, the next trade was where I got in. I clicked buy twice because I thought that my first fill didn't get executed, but they both did, and I thought I hit cancel on one, but sometimes they don't cancel in time. So I didn't realize that I was in this trade, uh, and once I did, I just hit the sell button, and that happened to be right up at the top. So 35% gain, $23 gain. Nice gain. It was an accidental trade. I'll be completely honest about that. But hey, at least accidentally, I'm patient enough to hold, right? So, um, not going to complain. Let's see, 6% gain average. This was on APVO again. I saw that we had a nice little base in the, around mid 16s. So I saw that we had a hit. It was showing a history of kind of doing this fade and push, like a fade push, fade push. Let's see, and then this was a fade push. So when I saw this bigger green candle here, I was wondering if it could push. So I bought in. Let's see, we're like 1810, right when this was about to break out. I wanted to see if it could have another leg. Um, I mean, this is already up almost 200% on the day, but I mean, we've seen stocks that can go 1500%. Not that that's a normal thing by any means, but um, and also the overall market plays a great deal in that. So I just took it off when I didn't think it could push any higher. I sold half, all right, I tried to sell, it only filled one, and then I said, you know what, maybe that's for the best. Let me give it a little bit more time. But it just didn't seem like it could push past this 19s area, so I just took it off. You know, nice little gain. If I was a little bit more patient, I could have taken it, but taken over 20. But you know, I'm not going to complain about that. 6% in a couple minutes. Moving on to Wednesday, starting off the day with a nice 10% gain. This was BFRI. This was a biotech, gapped up on some news, and pre-market spiked up pretty good. I was using pre-market resistance as my as my risk, and I just got in when I thought it was reversing and took a nice little 10% gain. So not bad there. Let's see, and then I just a bunch of over trading in it, bunch of over trading, adding when I shouldn't be adding, buying again when I shouldn't be buying. Let's see, buying on this dip with a risk of VWAP, and at least I cut near VWAP. I waited for a little bit of a bounce in here, but you know, it is what it is. 4% higher low play where I thought this might be a higher low. I bought a little early, which is a problem I have, and I just didn't cut. You know, low of day was my risk. I cut it a little bit above low of day, but you know, I need to start. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I need to start really focusing on what's my risk reward when I'm thinking of getting in these plays, because at let's say 480, yeah, 487, let's say 485 to 460, let's say. That's what, 25 cents? So 25-cent risk with, you know, 485 to 515, let's say, would be or 510. Yeah, 510 would be 25 cents. You know, so that's a 1-to-1. You know, could have pushed higher than that? Yeah, but I know that the most successful traders talk about their risk reward being 2-to-1, 3-to-1, or excuse me, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, or even 5-to-1. But rarely do they take anything under a 3-to-1. And this looks like it was potentially a, you know, if it was even a 2-to-1. But just something I need to keep in mind going forward. Again, that wasn't over 5%, but I'm just looking at it. Uh, Thursday, Thanksgiving. Hope everyone had a nice turkey. Well, maybe not with this presidency, but you know, what can you do? Let's see. Not much on that one. Decent little gain on this one. This is the one where I bought, added, and just I keep doing this where I add into areas of resistance. Well, where I initially buy and then add into the same area. That's just not something that I should do. I should hold off and wait for an add until here. I took some off here because I thought it was putting in a lower high, and then sold into this pop right before a halt, the other 2/3 of my position. So that was a nice little gain, but good lesson too, because you know if this thing cracked, you know what are you gonna do? I mean, and I think we're getting into, yeah, I mean this is exactly what I'm saying. You know, you had the halt up. I mean, it's not the same situation, but you know, I bought, added at this almost the same level, and then re-added when I assumed that it was going to double bottom, or hoped it was going to double bottom. And then look at, I took a loss because of it. If I didn't take this loss, I would have been up, you know, 60 bucks on this week. But instead, I just got stubborn. I was upset that I missed a halt. I thought the stock was going to be a lot more volatile and continue without me, and you know, that's what I get right there. So let's see. Yep. And that was the last trade of the week. So we'll go ahead and get into this again. So yeah, like I said, up $2.10 on the week. My account dropped a little bit. Um, I'm trying to think of what else I want to point out. I definitely have to work on my patience getting into trades. I really shouldn't be adding into trades with such a small account, and I really need to let these chart patterns play out. Um, I also need to be careful not to cut before my risk because that's just something that today, I'm recording this on Monday. Today I cut before risk multiple times, and that screwed me over because I just didn't let the chart play out. Um, but it's just because I get in too far from the risk and I just get antsy, even though my dollar amount that I could lose is small. Um, but yeah, I just have to get better at determining the how well the or how high the trade could potentially go, how that is um, when looking at it compared to the risk, the potential risk, and um, if it's up on a catalyst, if it's up on volume. These are all things that you have to think about and more when you're getting into every trade, and I'm just not there yet. But eventually, I'll be there. Eventually, I'll get it. I just have to keep working for it. So, thanks, guys, for checking out my weekly trades. If you got any questions, just let me know in the comments below. And I will see you when I upload Mondays, which should be in a couple minutes here. Um, Hope you guys have a great week or had a great weekend and had a great holiday. All right, thanks. Bye.